I booted up essentially. I didn't get much further than maybe an hour, but I dipped my toes into Stalker 2. I think it's called Heart of Chernobyl. It's not.
Yeah.
It's spelt differently
It's
for obvious reasons.
Chornobyl.
Yeah, listen, the Ukrainian developers are not super big fans of Russia and anything associated with Russia for very good reason. So they renamed the game during development, in amongst having to relocate from their country and losing several developers to the continuing war there. So that's a whole thing. The fact that this game came out at all is like kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, because of that, somewhat disappointing that it's launched in such a rough state. But at the same time, I think people have given it far more grace with context in mind of, the turbulent development period. It's got really good review scores, in spite of its technical issues. I think a lot of it comes down to its vibe and its very ruthless sort of first-person action. It's a very much a shooter, just like the previous games in the series, that asks a lot of you and is pretty unforgiving in many aspects. This isn't this isn't Metro. You've played Metro Exodus, I think you played. This is not that. Like, it looks the same, but it does not function the same. Metro is far more of a first-person shooter action game, whereas this is like every firefight could be life or death, and every bullet you expend is important, and stuff like that. So I've enjoyed previous Stalker games, even though I've struggled to finish them just because they, so challenging and so taxing. So I've been excited for the second one. I had to put it down now because on Xbox, at least, there's a massive controller issue where like the dead zones are just broken, or actually non-existent based on what I've read on Reddit. So the setting for the dead zone is just 0. So any minor movements on your stick, anything just like sends your character like turning in a direction, or it's horrendous. It makes the game, it makes it unplayable, honestly.
Sure.
Like, because you're trying to aim and you lifting your thumb off the stick incurs like a movement, or just bringing your stick to a standstill because now you're moving from, say, right to left to bring it back to center. Your character ends up moving a bit left as a result. Like, it's insane. It is, for a game where precision is a big thing, like, it's impossible to play in this way. So I'm waiting. Apparently, GSC World, the developers are aware of it, and they're going to include the fix in a new patch. And to be fair, the day one patch for the game fixed a lot of technical issues that reviewers were struggling with. So yeah, I mean, it's a game that struggles on PC because it's so CPU dependent, apparently, and because of that, console, the Xbox really struggles as well. But I think it looks really good, especially on the like games quality mode on console. Like, very, very beautiful looking game and very atmospheric, where when you don't have your light on, it is fucking dark. It is, you cannot see anything. And so when you're exploring like derelict bunkers or in the middle of a empty forest and something makes a noise and you're trying to track where that noise came from or trying to see an enemy, it really sucks you into that dangerous feeling. And I quite like that. I hope they fix the control issues so I can actually play the game. Yeah. So we'll see. I'll check back in with it. I'd be curious. I think it's a game you would kind of enjoy because you're really into that sort of challenging, brutalistic sort of first-person genre. I think you'd find a lot of enjoyment out of it. But yeah, I think, especially if you're playing on PC, wait for it to kind of stabilize.
I mean, it's on Game Pass as well.
Exactly. It's a Microsoft game, so it'll be on Game Pass, so you can grab it on PC, no problem. But yeah, it's a pity after all this time that this is the conversation about it now, as opposed to it being such a interesting game in the current landscape of shooters. And I think it has a much better chance to find an audience now than the original Stalker games back on PC. And I'd be happy to see that. I just hope they can get around on these technical issues quite quickly.
Yeah.